Hey everybody, hope you're having a wonderful day. So with what's been in the news lately with the Democratic and Republican conventions over the last couple of weeks, I wanted to talk about historical market performance during election years and then the year after an election and see if there's any useful data that we can gather from that to help invest our clients' money to hopefully achieve higher expected returns. So I'm going to go through some of these numbers. Since 1968, Richard Nixon was elected, a positive 11% return. In 72, Nixon was reelected, 19% return. Carter, positive 23. Reagan, positive both years he was elected. In 88, George Bush Sr., 92, 96, Clinton, very big years. In 2000, Bush W was elected, lost 9%. 2004, W was reelected, 10+%. 08, Obama was elected, negative 37. And then you see the following years that it's all, this is the performance of the S&P indicated here on the chart. And the question is there any useful information to gather from this information and the performance of the S&P 500? And the answer is, no. One, there's not enough statistics. Even though we've got, going back, I went to 1968, and you can go back really until the early 1920s. That's not enough data to give you any viable predictor of what the market's going to do. It's not even close to enough data. So I would never make a decision based on whatever happens in a particular election. As you can see, with both Republicans and Democrats in the year they were actually elected, I would say the election year itself you would think would typically be worse because it's uncertainty. You don't know who's going to win. Versus the year after, who's in office, and actually sometimes the year after it looks like it's been worse than the year of the actual election itself, no matter who was in office, whether it was a Republican or a Democrat. I like to think about what goes on in Washington in the terms of this. The market is this vast ocean. It's this vast sea with millions upon millions of moving parts. And what happens in Washington is a tiny piece. Now, it may be the noisiest piece. It may be this wave on top right here, creating the most emotion, creating the most stir. But in reality, it's still just a tiny piece of the puzzle. And does it have an effect? Do the policies of the president or the cabinet or the policies of the House have some effect? Certainly. But in the terms of the grand scheme of things, when you look at this sea of what the market is, trillions upon trillions of dollars changing hands every day. What goes on in Washington election cycle is just a very tiny piece of that puzzle. A very noisy piece, but still a tiny piece. So keep that in perspective when thinking about the election in terms of what to do with your money. Go to our website. It's bearwealth.com. Check us out. Call me if you have any questions at all. Have a great rest of your week.